Hello everyone, Darren Hardy here, and welcome back to our real-time Q&A. This week we are following along with the special DarrenDaily mini-series that's taking place titled Spring Cleaning Your Life and Your Business. Today was the third installment. Happy Hump Day, by the way. And today we talked about how to spruce up your training systems. And I'm going to get to some of your questions here about how to create training systems that have a lasting impact on your team and on yourself. But before I do that, I just want to remind you that being a part of the Be the Exception community, being part of the DarrenDaily Better Every Day movement, you in particular have a responsibility about how you show up during these times of challenge and uncertainty, and for many, struggle. The world around you is watching you. They're looking to you about how to behave and what to think and what to expect about their future. And we know that leaders are born during times of crisis. Now, a crisis doesn't make a leader. A crisis reveals the characteristics of a leader. And we all know that the definition of a hero is an ordinary person put into an extraordinary situation who chooses to take action. So that's what we're in. We're in an extraordinary situation. And while we might have all entered very ordinary people, it will be what you do now that will determine whether you emerge as a leader, as a hero for those that are around you. A real leader today is one that's going to inspire hope. It's going to be a beacon of light that can illuminate these dark times and illuminate a path forward for people. So I'm asking, what can you be doing? The activities of a leader right now. Let me just give you three things that I think you can proactively be doing to step up for people. Number one is just be radically human. We're all going through this. It is new for everybody. This is a pandemic that is affecting the world simultaneously. And so everybody around you is being affected equally. So you want to relate, you want to appreciate, acknowledge what people are feeling and what they're anxious about and what they might be stressed or uneasy or uncertain about, or the real financial and economic pain that people might be under. And then you want to redirect. You see, you want to redirect them on what you can do. See, emotion is going to take place, but you want to turn emotion into motion in a positive direction, which is focusing on the things that you can do. Not all the things you can't do because of isolation and distance and all the rest of it, but things that you can do and how you can help and serve. The second thing is to be in touch and do it often and regularly. I know that you think that you don't want to disturb people, but trust me, now is the time when people want to hear from their leaders. And so every morning I'm sending a personal memo to my entire team. In many departments, we're doing daily huddles. As a team, we're even getting together socially, of course, via video conferencing and Zoom. We're doing virtual cocktail parties. We got one coming up next week where we're just going to do what we would do if we went out after work, but just do it right here in the comfort of our own isolation. Enjoy cocktails, tell jokes, get to know each other and our families a little bit better. You want to show the way. You want to continue to be a champion for your rally cry. Focus on what your team and your business can do as a form of contribution. You see, here at Darren Hardy LLC, we see our mission is to help. We help business leaders and high achievers who are choosing to be the exception. That's who we support. And during these times, more than ever, we are playing full out. You see, we see ourselves in the healthcare business. While there are incredible professionals that are looking after the health of your body, we're trying to look after the health of your mind. And we know that now more than ever, you need the resources to support your healthy mind. You can't have a healthy body, a healthy immune system if you don't have a healthy and strong mind. The number one organ that affects your immune system in your entire body is your brain. So healthy, vibrant, positive mind is going to make your immune system and your body positive, strong, and healthy as well. So the third thing that you can do is to grow through this. With the external events out of your control, everything that's happening outside of your area of isolation, maybe out of your control, this is what you can control, the internal growth that you experience during this process. You want to decide to come out of this crisis better than you went into it. You want to become a whole new, further grown person coming out than you did going into it. You want to sharpen the saw, spend this time to prepare. We know that when this panic subsides, it will be those that are most prepared that will ultimately thrive. Never before has there been a more important time to strengthen yourself. So keep this motto at hand. Don't just go through adversity, grow through adversity. So the questions on what type of training you might institute for you or for your team. Is it the same training for different people? What if we have a conference already? What else do we need to do? this is a big tip for you leaders here, that you're probably spending a lot of money on training your people that is wasted. Unless it is focused on behavior training and modification, then it's probably wasted. And behavior doesn't change in an event. It doesn't change in a one-time training engagement. Behavior has to change over time. So sequenced, repeated, and held accountable over a period of time is the only way that you can actually modify behavior. So let me do this. I'm going to go to my screen and actually walk you through some statistics about how this works and how you can make it work inside your organization as well. So let me go to the screen now. The stats on this, I just wanted to acknowledge Paula Skelly here, who said, I need to work on key skills. I also want to add that I'm so grateful for DarrenDaily. Darren made a commitment to be here every morning, and come hell or high water, viruses or not, he's here. What an outstanding example of making a commitment to follow through. Just along has kept me inspired. And to be honest, it's given me a sense of normal amid the chaos. So grounding for me. Every morning I know Darren will be there and his wisdom uplifts me. And I think I could use a week to digest and make a habit of each 5-minute Darren Daily. I'm so grateful for DarrenDaily, Insane Productivity, the podcast, Sunday Planning. I just wanted to point out we have all these resources available to you. I hope you are plugging into them regularly. It will ground you. It will give you a sense of normal. Now, here's the way training normally works in a one-time event. You walk into an event and everybody's at the emotional level of here, right? And then they come to the event and everybody gets inspired and excited. What happens though, unfortunately, is immediately after the event ends, the drop off of their knowledge accumulation, excitement, energy, and engagement drops off dramatically. You can see here, 20 minutes after the event, 42% of everything that they learned is lost. 24 hours after, 67% is lost. After 30 days, 87% of all that training is lost, and it continues to flatline from there. Which means that if you got 5 employees, this is the kind of money that you have wasted. That is assuming $1,200 per team member on training. If you've got 1,000 employees, you can see it's costing you more than $1 million. Now, what I like to institute with any event that I'm a part of is there's a pre-event anticipation buzz. We do the event, and then there's a post-event training system that will continue to follow them along back where they need to actually apply it, in their home, in their office, back in the real world. So instead, we do this pre-build-up event here where people build anticipation, excitement going into the event, and then of course the event delivers just as any event would, and it will drop off. The emotion and the training impact will drop off. But if you can then take back a sequenced behavior modification training program that is delivered on a week-over-week basis, you can see that you could start to scale their skills, their engagement, and you can keep momentum and motivation sustained over a long period of time. This is the only way you can have that kind of lasting impact. So I hope you see the importance of training continued and delivered over a period of time. That's how you're going to modify behavior over time. So what we do on the A team is we'll go through a training program like Insane Productivity or the eFast Pass, and it's 12 modules. The reason why I designed those programs over 12 modules, it's a 90-day training challenge period of time. And then we come together every week at the end of the week to review each other's notes and discuss our learnings and take the training deeper. But it's not just about the individual learnings, it's the collaboration and the collective wisdom and the team engagement that takes place during this period of time. So now let me answer some of the more specific questions that came up here. Rodney Jacobson asked, do you only hire people interested in personal growth through programs like Insane Productivity, or is it part of their employment agreement that they must do the 5-3-1 process? Well, we only hire people who are growth-minded. It doesn't matter what they have been growth-minded in terms of their study and development, but we want them to be growth-minded. Many people that we hire have not been through Insane Productivity, and that is part of their early indoctrination process. So no, they don't have to have been from or had watched Insane or the eFast Pass or any of those materials in particular, but we do definitely want them to be growth-minded. So that is a criteria in our hiring and vetting process. Okay, Joy Allen Poole asked, Darren, thank you for all you do to help others. Truly exceptional. My question is, what program do you suggest for a person just graduating from college with a financial degree, getting ready to look for employment? I'd like to share the information with my son-in-law. Thank you. Okay, well, I would say that let's see whether they're really growth-minded. Let's see whether they really take to this material. A lot of people don't. They just couldn't be bothered. There are a lot fewer growth-minded, truly growth-minded people out there than you would imagine, particularly if you are a growth-minded person. Of course, you think everybody thinks like you think. So what I would do is first start them with a compound effect. Let's just see whether they can digest the insights here, whether they're turned on by them, whether they start to apply them, or whether they are snarky or uninterested and so forth. And as mentioned, during this crisis period of time, I'm just giving away the inventory that I had bought for our own personal fulfillment. So you can just go to thecompoundeffect.com and you can have a book shipped to him, and let's just see whether it takes to that material. Then after that, then you could consider whether in a program like Insane Productivity or even the eFast Pass. But here's what I'd recommend as well. Make sure they pay for a major portion of it. People will only pay attention to what it is that they pay for. So even if they don't have the money right now, then they need to at least borrow the 50% of it or even the 80% of it that will be their expense towards the program. Trust me, when they put skin in the game, they're going to be looking for how to get a return on investment. But if you just give it to them, likely they won't even consume it at all. It's just part of how our human brain functions. We only pay attention to the things we've invested in ourselves. Okay, last question. Teresa Rogers says, thank you for the great thought starters today. For training, do you try to find a one-size-fits-all for the entire team, a training plan directed towards just the individual, or a mix of both? Okay, so here's what we do. We go through a personal development training program as a team, one program that we're all going through together. Like right now, we're on module 9 of Insane Productivity, and we have a doc where everybody puts all their learnings from that particular week that we get together on Friday on a huddle, and we discuss our key learnings, and we have a really great, incredible, fun, and engaging collaborative discussion about our learnings. So we do that as a team. But then every individual has a particular skill that they're working on that is specific to their role, to their job function, a unique skill. And that's where they're doing their 5-3-1 on 5 books, 3 audio programs, and 1 training program. So yeah, that we do both. We do one program that we're all doing together, and then specific narrow skill that they're working on for their particular job role. Okay, I hope all that helped you today. Please keep sending in your questions. If you have questions right now related to what we're going through on the Darren Daily special series, or otherwise, you could put them in the comments. I know our team is combing through those and then feeding them to me. We're just looking for ways that we can be a resource of hope, inspiration, and positive direction going forward in these crazy times. So with that, hope you all have a great Wednesday. We'll see you on the other side on Thursday. Bye-bye for now.